Television. I'm Charles Eruka.
And I'm Loretta Chiogo. Here are the stories we're tracking at this time. The President has urged the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NETI, to ensure that refineries that receive stolen crude oil from Nigeria are identified and punished. President Goodluck Jonathan made this demand during a meeting in Abuja with the chairperson of NETI, Ms. Claire Short, noting that Africa is losing a lot through leakages in the mining and extractive industry.
The President also challenged Haiti to help in ending the exploitation of Africans by multinational companies engaged in the extraction of the continent's natural resources. On her part, Ms. Short briefed President Jonathan on Haiti's efforts to ensure that mineral resources of countries are well managed and utilized for the benefit of their citizens.
To drive forward the reforms that they've showed are needed, you need the backing of the government and the President. And the President has taken a lot of interest in this work and has promised stronger backing, and he's about to appoint this committee with more senior representation so that all the ministries will be forced to implement the necessary reforms. And we also discussed the whole question of oil theft from the Delta and the sort of criminals who take it into ships and go off into the international system, and how more can be done about that. But I think personally that Zainab and the chair, Ludum, have done a fabulous job. It's now clearer and clearer where the money is going missing in Nigeria. And if the government gets behind the reforms that they have suggested, we could get lots more money for the government and then make sure that money is properly spent for the people.
The chairperson of Haiti, Ms. Claire Short. To politics now. The winner of the Delta Central Senatorial District by-election, Mr. Emmanuel Agwariavodo, defeated his closest competitor with over 200,000 votes, which has thrown up celebrations among the ranks of the PDP. The governor of Delta State, Emmanuel Edouard, joined other members of the party to celebrate the victory. The winner says, with this result, there is no party that can challenge the PDP's dominance.
Victory, they say, is sweet. For the PDP in Delta State, the result of Saturday Delta Central Senatorial by-election calls for celebration. In that light, the governor of Delta State, party members and the candidate gather in this room. This meeting is not only to celebrate, but to assess the efforts the party has put in the election.
We speak with one voice, nothing can divide us. And yesterday, as PDP member from Delta Central, we spoke with one voice.
The battle may be over after the polls. For the candidate, the victory is an assurance of the party's dominance in the state.
With this unity, I don't see any party. There's no party in Delta State today that can rival us. There's no.
Reclaiming Delta Central Senatorial District appears to be the essence of the result for the PDP members gathered in this room. But beyond the politicking, the interests of the people must now be top on the agenda of a new senator.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress candidate in the Delta Central Senatorial District by-election is calling for outright cancellation of the election and for INEC to fix a date for a rerun. At a post-election press conference, the APC accused the PDP of using the military to intimidate voters and also engaging in falsification of results.
We of the APC and I as a candidate reject in its totality the purported outcome and result as announced by INEC. We hereby demand for a fresh election that will allow the people of Delta Central to freely select a candidate of their choice to fill the vacant senatorial seat. In PDP strongholds, areas that PDP appear to would have won or have control, the military supervised the thumb printing of ballot papers in private homes of PDP stalwarts. For example, thumb printing took place in the deputy governor residence, I'm talking of Delta South, in the PDP candidate Emmanuel Agwariawodo's house in Ughelli South, as well as Chief John Oguma's house in Ughelli South.
What has happened is a complete rape of democracy. It is also a possible template of what the PDP plans to do in 2015. So it's our duty to raise the alarm as early as possible and begin to fight this very dangerous slide into complete chaos and anarchy.
Now, thousands of market women have protested at the nation's capital against the lingering strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The angry women trooped to the Federal Secretariat, warning ASU against blackmailing the government over a strike they described as suicidal to the education system. They noted that the union has been faceless in its negotiations despite the government's 130 billion naira intervention. They threatened a showdown with the lecturers if the issue is not resolved within 2 weeks. Our correspondent Gloria Omezuoke reports.
The placards carried various inscriptions. The women and students took to the streets in open defiance to the rules of traffic.
With thousands of women right behind me urging ASU to go back to school or face whatever action they come up with. Well, this is the first time they're coming out in mass to protest the very essence of the ASU strike.
The angry women insist they cannot fold their arms and watch their children continue to stay out of school for over 3 months in the guise of a strike they are beginning to see as irrational.
With agreement that state university and federal state university should be on the same salary. Now, so they are lying to us and they are trying to blackmail federal government. Not the federal government saying I'm a trader. They should go back to school. Can't you resolve something amicably?
The women gave the striking lecturers until the end of the month to resolve the crisis or face a showdown.
Let them not go end of this month. You will see what we do. We are traders, we are market women. We don't want trouble in this country. You don't do now. This one go bring it on. This one go bring it on. Can't we have peace in this country for a change?
The women again converged on the Ministry of Education, demanding audience from the minister.
On Friday, we were with ASU, and I believe that the discussions we held with them, that something very, very positive will come out of it.
There were, however, mixed reactions from other Nigerians on the ASU strike.
They're supposed to call the strike back now. At least our children are suffering at home. At least the government should look into it, I beg.
Our legislatives, most of their children are not here. If their children are here and they are good fathers, they will have called off the strike.
I think their demand is genuine because it's supposed to be an agreement that was reached. So the government is obliged to fulfill that agreement.
As Nigerians await the 2-week ultimatum by the women, meetings to resolve the growing face-off continues. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Still to come on News Track, the president's response to the APC leader Bola Tinubu's comments that the national conference being planned by President Goodluck Jonathan is ill-timed.
And dominance of expatriate construction companies worries local engineers in Nigeria. That's when we return. Stay with us.
At first, it's only anticipation that something is about to happen. This is one thing that makes life interesting. To compete not only with players across the field, but across the world. It makes me feel joy when we win and sorrow when we lose. The action and reaction, colliding, falling, dropping, despite the odds. I love it because it brings me tears. Tears of victory, tears of joy. The skill that leads to the pass that leads to the shot that leads to the goal that determines the ultimate. Channel Sports, defining the moment of true sport.
Welcome back. All our top stories and other programs can be found on our websites, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also get us on the move. Visit m.channels.tv channelstv.com to view us live on iPad, iPhone or BlackBerry. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android.